Yes, and welcome to the video that's going to end my career. Hi, I'm Wolfie, and today I'm going to be talking about everything wrong with the South African streaming community. Now, before we start, let me get you my credentials. I'm South African and I'm a streamer, and I've been doing this for a year. And over this year, I have noticed some insane things that for some reason don't get talked about, and I really feel we need to start talking about them. In this video, I'm going to be calling myself out, and I'm also going to be addressing some stuff that has happened in the last year with content, with other people's contents and some streams. This video isn't me going to say the South African community is terrible. I'm just gonna, before the internet trolls get too carried away here, that's not what this video is. I think if we're gonna start this video, we need to start at the beginning where we talk about how far behind South Africa is in terms of content creation and streaming. And if you go ask anyone that's doing content creation, streaming full-time in the big leagues, all of that, they will all say to you the same thing, that we are really behind on a lot of this stuff. So first of all, in my opinion, we're about 10 years behind in terms of content. With the amount of content that is being pushed out overseas, for companies, for everything, it's just absolutely insane. If you go compare it to what we have here in South Africa, it's not that amazing. And to be fair, while we have been put behind really behind in the world and a lot of stuff, we're actually growing super fast with content, with apps like TikTok, YouTube, and other social media platforms really pushing us into the spotlight. And this is incredible because it's created a lot of jobs. It's created a new group for young people to get into, like myself. Video editing, talking. I've obviously gone from gaming and I'm going into a slightly different genre of content that I like to call I was homeschooled and I have a loud mouth. But we'll address that later. South Africans content creators and streamers don't have a ton of sponsors, and when the ones that do, it's quite hard to get a hold of sponsors. You can obviously see that I've got some sponsorship experience. It is kind of difficult. It's definitely something that I think is easier overseas, and one of the big reasons it is so difficult with sponsorships is something that I have learned heavily over the last year, is because of how petty people are and they post things. Well, if you want to send it to, just hear me out. Every time I open my phone, let's talk about TikTok. I'm going to open TikTok on my phone. One of the first videos I'm going to see is someone being clipped in a game lobby, or a streamer being clipped, and someone is posting this with the intent of instigating nonsense. We have a content creator who TikTok promotes his clips of him saying racial words that should not be said, as well as other people saying that, and then he promotes it to get, 40,000 views or something. So this means that, of course, the sponsors have seen that, and they're instantly thinking, I'm so glad I don't sponsor streamers who play this game. I'm so glad I don't sponsor content creators who do this. Most of the content creators we have down here are so toxic. And this is actually in a sponsor meeting while I was speaking with someone. They told me that I'm one of only 2 South Africans that have sponsorships. They would rather work and pay extra fees to have overseas content creators make videos for them, because they say, well, they're the only ones that they could find that didn't have all of the stuff on their page. So whatever you are posting on the internet, other people are seeing, and it actually does affect the scene. Now, I just want to take a minute to actually clarify that I told them in that meeting that they were wrong, and I gave them a list of South African streamers who are, like me, don't have this stuff on their page. They were not interested. Unfortunately, some people are very strict when it comes to their brand, and they don't want to listen to it. They have their mind pre-made up. This does not mean that all sponsors are like this. I just want to put this clip in here. This does not mean all sponsors are like this. This is just something that was said to me during a sponsor. And this includes those private Discord calls that you guys think are private. I cannot remember the last time I was in a Discord call where I or someone else did not get clipped. I have actually had to start clipping some of my Discord calls for legal reasons, because at the end of the day, some people like to start fights, and I have to be there with the receipts to say, hi, no, this is actually what happened. So people love starting nonsense. This does not mean that everyone does it. It just means that people don't realize how much it affects the scene. I recently started hosting tournaments, and while it's been fantastic, it has opened a whole new side of drama. Why tournaments are so hard to get sponsored in South Africa. And if you are someone that is trying to be a pro player, you'll know that you kind of need tournaments to be a pro player. Getting money for that is so difficult because of the amount of people that if something goes wrong in the tournament, they go complain to the sponsor. The next thing that, in my opinion, is also wrong with content creation in South Africa, we have 10 really fantastic content creators and streamers, like the people that are setting the bar so that we have people to look up to, we have people to go for advice. Again, I'm not going to name them here because people are going to say you're being biased. No, I'm genuinely stating facts. And they did something that really got me thinking. Most of them last year switched away from TikTok and went to Twitch. So why are all of these, why are the majority of the big streamers all moving over to Twitch? A lot of people have been talking about this. They've been saying, I go to TikTok to watch this person's live. They're not there anymore. They're on Twitch. Why are they switching over to Twitch? Because TikTok doesn't care about the South African streamers. We don't even have the TikTok, I don't know what you call it, rewards program, the creator program. Basically, that's where you earn money for making your video. So content creators are putting in this incredible amount of time to make videos, to do all of this, and we're getting not a cent from it. That is right. TikTok does not pay us. TikTok has started selectively letting some people earn from it. And again, from what I've heard from those people, it's not actually going well. And you have to click agree to a bunch of stuff, but let's not go there. It's not just that Twitch is actually the better platform in terms of your quality is better, your moderators can much easier do it. You can upload from there, you can put your stream straight to YouTube from there. There's a lot of reasons why we, myself included, are going over to Twitch. And one of the big things is the amount of trolls that come on your TikTok lives, especially if you have got text to speech, which is when someone types something in and then it talks to you. A lot of streamers used to use this because, let's be honest, it was a lot easier than going back and forth to monitors, especially if you only had one monitor, you could hear to chat, and that was fantastic. But then, of course, South Africans, basically there is a thread, this little text that they type in your thing, and it basically talks about a certain group of Germans in a certain time period and a bunch of racial slurs. And they have somehow figured out how to get Tickfinity to say this by putting in this little sequence of numbers and letters. Anyway, when they do, they read it on your Tickfinity chat, you insta get banned. So now we have people constantly trying to go after us and end our streams. You also get spam reporting, which is when people see that you are higher up on game ranking. If you don't know what game ranking is, it's a system where how much someone has donated to you in your gaming category depends if you are on the top 100 for thingies. People take this religiously serious. It genuinely scares me how seriously people take this. Anyway, so if someone is on, let's say, the second in game ranking, but someone is about to take them over, a lot of what people will do, and again, this is not all South African streamers, this is just some of them that unfortunately are making it very nasty. They will go tell their chat to go spam report, and I've watched people do this, and this is recorded, and it is somewhere, if you guys search hard enough, you'll find this on TikTok, where they say, no, go spam report this person for me. And then the people go and they spam report them, their lives get taken out, which means this person is not earning. So effectively, you are messing with someone's income, which is, again, you can get sued for this. I think a lot of South Africans don't know you can genuinely get sued in a lot of legal trouble for messing with streamers. This is, I think, the big reason that most people aren't streaming nowadays is money. The amount of money that equipment takes is evil, guys. If you are a PC streamer like me, you will know. Even if you're just on console, if you're using your phone to make content, you can obviously use a lot of things to make content. It is just so expensive. Between microphones, which is your audio, which is your ears, which is everything, how people hear you, how you hear them, your camera, your monitors, your setup, everything has to be perfect. There is an incredible amount of pressure on you to know everything that you're talking about, to know all of your equipment, and to pay these ridiculous prices for equipment. And we already pay how much more than overseas? Because again, everything gets shipped to us. We don't make this stuff here. We've only got two major tech companies at the moment, which is EveTech and Woodware. I know someone's going to come and say this other stuff. Yes, there is other stuff, but the two main South African ones that we trust, we do have new people such as Tech Domain and other platforms that are currently breaking into the scene, but it's super difficult to do because, again, we've only got two main ones. Being a streamer, you basically have to be rich from the start, and this is difficult. I started full-time streaming and I did not have the funds for it. I'll show you guys some of my clips. Like, I really didn't. You guys can see I used my phone as a webcam. This 6-year-old phone I used as a webcam. I actually still record with that because I just physically can't afford some other stuff. Tiger was nice enough to be letting me use his DJI camera, which I definitely don't steal very bad. But the point is, it's an incredible amount of money, and we don't have anything down here that is cheaper for streamers. I know I've been told a lot of the overseas stuff, it's definitely a lot cheaper to get this stuff. Nope. Incredible amount of money for streamers to start, and not everyone has that amount of capital. I mean, my streaming PC is about 30-something grand at the moment, and I don't know anyone else that has 30 grand lying around to invest in a streaming PC. If I take up my entire setup, which is my monitors, my keyboards, my cameras, my PC, my lighting, yes, lighting is ridiculously expensive, it comes to an unholy amount that you just cannot afford. And in this economy where we have a housing crisis and the tourist ranking marking up everything in our financials because, you know, it's cheap for them and they're buying. It's just unrealistic to expect this. And don't forget AI increasing the RAM prices. Thank you, children. I really hope AI helped with your homework. And now the local lobbies problem. Another reason people don't want to stream or they don't want to do gaming competitively is because we actually don't have a lot of local lobbies. Why am I Call of Duty with this? Yes, we have some local lobbies, but the majority of stuff, it's not local. And local is lack of us. So we're already on a disadvantage in most games. And Twitch has no South African servers. Most places really don't. So we're already starting at a bit of a disadvantage, which people don't like. So we really should be asking ourselves, why are the platforms, sorry, I keep picking my mic, why are the platforms not catering to South Africa? What do we as South African streamers and content creators need to be doing to be attracting more international attention so that we can get our own servers? Now, the rand dollar situation. As we all know, the dollar is a lot stronger than the rand, which for someone when they started streaming was very cool when you made $20 when you equivalent that to rand. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely think that was something to adjust to. But the big problem, and this is why I know a lot of streamers have left, is because of how much it costs to bring in money from the US. Everything we earn, okay, from the overseas platforms, guess what? Pays us in dollars, which means we get taxed on those dollars through the platform itself. Afterwards, we get taxed for bringing the money in, and then the money that we've brought in gets taxed by SARS. So we have got an extreme taxation situation here at the moment. I think TikTok takes 70% of all my stuff. Twitch doesn't take as much. We're very grateful for Twitch. Again, why most people are going over to Twitch. But again, Twitch is difficult to grow, but that's a whole other video that we're going to talk about. So the amount of struggle is just to bring in your money, the taxing of it. And I'm going to be honest, for someone who knows nothing about taxes and was homeschooled, this was absolutely terrifying. Despite everything I've said in this video, streaming content creation is still my dream and I will never give it up. I love the people I've met through this and it genuinely makes me happy to come here every day, be able to sit, and I'm so grateful to be in this position that I can do that. And once again, I wouldn't be there without the South African community. This video is just to show the difficulties that streamers face with the online, no local money, and just to hopefully someone will see this and be inspired to invest in the South African scene. I really hope you guys like this video. I'm hoping to do a lot more videos talking about South Africa, the scenes, how it is. The next video I will be dropping will actually be calling people out. Yes, that is right. I am making a video calling people out because, again, I think it's disgusting what some people are getting away with at the moment, but it will be in good taste. I'm going to say this now. This will be in completely good taste. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like and follow button. And if you have made it all the way through to here, you guys are absolute legends. Thank you so much.